Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of In the Loop. I'm your host Taylor, and today we're celebrating something that truly shines during this time of year: service, community, and the spirit of giving back. With Christmas just around the corner, we're highlighting the people who help keep kindness moving in our community. The volunteer coordinators of two incredible organizations, Real Life Center and Silver Bells Coweta. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Let's start by getting to know each of you a little bit better. Could you introduce yourselves and share what your organization does and your role as a volunteer coordinator?
Well, I am Marissa, and I serve at Silver Bells Coweta. So we are a nonprofit here in Coweta that sponsors seniors in our community that do not have family and financial means during the holidays. So we interview the senior, then we go out and find volunteer and sponsors that want to adopt the individual. And then we get to spend a week collecting the gifts and wrapping them and then deliver them all in one day. And it's so rewarding to get out there in the community and see the recipients and as they receive these gifts that they are not expecting at all.
Yeah, and my name is Matt, and I serve as the volunteer coordinator at the Real Life Center. And so the Real Life Center, it's actually our 26th year, and we serve families in need in Fayette and Coweta counties. And we do that several different ways. One way is through financial assistance. So that's assistance with utilities and rent. And then we also are a food pantry. And that's probably primarily what people know us for. But we're a food pantry that's open 5 times a week for families in need. And we have about 200 to 250 families each week come through and shop. And then we also offer just basic, what we call life skills classes. So helping people with their budgets, getting better jobs, practicing for job interviews, some basic just life skills classes, things like that.
That's amazing. And what first drew you guys to the nonprofit work, specifically in your community?
Yeah, I'll go first. So my background is in ministry. I served on staff at churches for a long time. And one of the things that I enjoyed about church work is when we got to work with a nonprofit, because it seemed like they were on the ground and meeting needs and helping people in need. And so always in the back of my mind had this idea, it'd be neat to work with a place where you get to help people every day. And so that's what drew me to nonprofit work. And it's something I get to do at the Real Life Center. You get to you come home at the end of the day and you realize that what you did made a difference. You see it happen.
For sure.
Well, my story is a little bit shorter. I was needing something in 2020. We were in COVID, and my 15-year-old dog passed away suddenly. So I needed something to get out of the house and put my time towards. So a neighbor let me know that Silver Bells was needing some help. That was their second year going. And so I said, well, I have time. Let's do it. And so now 6 years later, I've taken it over. Wow. And it has led me to other opportunities with River Life and do other nonprofit work. So it's been such a rewarding time for me.
Walk us through, what does a day in the life look like as a volunteer coordinator?
So Silver Bells, because we are a holiday program, I usually start up in August. Every year, communicating with our previous sponsors, just letting them know that we're going to be doing the event again this coming year, and then in October we start interviewing the seniors, and so River Life, we have 75 seniors that we support through this program. So we're calling each individual senior and asking them their needs and wants for the coming year. So it does take about 4 to 8 hours, pretty much Monday through Friday, starting in September, and until now. So it comes fast, but it's a full-time job for me. And then I have a team of volunteers that really support.
That's awesome that you reach out to each one. That's really sweet.
So, day to day for us, so at the Real Life Center, we're open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 12, and then Thursday evening from 5 to 7. So those are the hours we're open to the public. So those hours are busy. Really for me as the volunteer coordinator during those hours, I'm basically a store manager is how I kind of view it. The volunteers do most of the work with the families, because families are actually able to come in and shop at the Real Life Center. So it's set up like a grocery store. And a big reason for that is dignity, so that they can pick what they want for their families. But then they obviously can't take all the food. So the volunteers kind of guiding them through, talking with them, asking how their week's going. And so really in the morning, I'm a store manager, just handling things that come up pretty much like a store manager would do. And then my afternoons are filled with meetings and scheduling volunteers, meeting with people that are interested in volunteering, doing community engagement events similar to like this, things like that, in the rest of the day.
Right. I've been to the store. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And what's something most people don't realize about the behind the scenes work that you guys do?
I tend to act as a social worker and really get involved with our we don't call them clients, but our individuals, the recipients, every year. So I go pick up the prescriptions and go to the grocery store if they need help, and try to find resources, and try to find other nonprofits like the Real Life Center that can help assist them, because a lot of our seniors, they're not on the internet, and they don't know how to find the resources out there in the community.
Yeah. So, behind the scenes is, I would say, we have 175 volunteers and they don't just show up. You have to remind them to be there, and you have to schedule them and find subs. So that's a big part of it. And then there is a lot of networking. I mean, that's a big part of what you do as a volunteer coordinator, because we know that we can't offer everything.
Right.
And so being able to work with other people, and I'm learning today even some things that I didn't know Silver Bells did,
Yeah.
and now I can add to my database.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. Perfect. And with Christmas around the corner and everyone leaning a little more to the generosity side, I'm sure you both feel that shift. How does the holiday season impact volunteer turnout and donations at the Real Life Center and Silver Bells?
Well, we do have health of our volunteers. Sickness is inevitable during this time of year, so we do have to add a little bit extra room in the schedule for no-shows or sick calls.
Mm-hmm.
That's one big thing. But we tend to just it always happens.
Yeah.
It just always works out, and people show up and people cancel, and it all gets done. It's amazing.
So similar to what she said, yes, the holiday season, it becomes much busier, and obviously if you have sickness, things like that happen. But, the big thing is the volunteers show up is what I see. They want to be there. We do a lot of special things at the holidays. Like next week is our Christmas meal distribution week. And so everyone's always like, I want to be there that week because it's neat to give families their Christmas meal. We do the same thing at Thanksgiving. And then for us at the Real Life Center, we call it food drive season.
Yeah.
So the majority of the canned foods that we will give out next year, we receive in the months of November and December, because it's can-a-thon season.
Mm-hmm.
So elementary schools, churches, businesses are collecting food drives, which involves a lot of volunteers. You have to pick them up, you have to coordinate them. All that food has to be sorted. So this is the time of the year where we have a lot of groups come, like Coweta-Fayette EMC, come and help us sort that food that was donated.
Yeah.
So it's a busy time of year.
Yeah, that kind of leads me into my next question. Are there any specific holiday initiatives or programs that your nonprofit hosts that you look forward to every year?
Well, of course, Silver Bells is on the top, but we do also have a Serve Coweta event twice a year that we get individuals to come out and show up at one location to serve all together in the same day. Because normally we send out a handful of people to each individual project. But then when we get 200 people or 300 people to show up at the same time to go out there and serve in the community, it makes such an impact and allows the others to see how many people are actually serving.
Yeah, so Holidays Initiative, the big thing for us is the holiday meals. So we give families everything they need in order to cook a holiday meal for their family. So, Thanksgiving, that's a turkey, all the things that they would need to make a meal. And then we do some stuff around toys. So we primarily focus on new families that have come this year that have kids. We have people that, similar to like an angel tree, where they can sponsor a family so that family can have Christmas, have gifts for their family. And then we also have a local restaurant that actually does a free meal for 100 of our families. So they just open one day when they're not normally open and do like a prime rib dinner and thing. It's a really neat time because many of them, you can tell this is like their fancy holiday meal. They dress up for it. They bring their grandkids. So it's a neat thing we look forward to each year.
That's so sweet. Do you have a memorable volunteer moment from a past Christmas season that's really touched you?
We get so many families that show up with young people, in the elementary age that I just get so excited for them to see their parents and, getting involved and hoping that that's going to lead for them. I definitely, just think that the families that continue to show up together is amazing because you don't see that often throughout the year.
For me, I think about one of the things that's interesting is the time of the year where we have the most groups come in service during the holidays because that's our busy season. And so many of the groups they come every year, and it's kind of like what they look forward to doing. It's part of their holiday tradition. It's funny, they know the job that they're going to do, and they've already, like when they get there, they're like, this year I'm the label maker. This year I'm the box, or we've already come up with a different way that we're going to organize the food this year. So just to see that it's a part of their holiday tradition is a neat thing.
Right. And I'm going to ask you, is there a particular reason why you love this work?
Oh, just the fact that we can help so many individuals. We started out our first year serving 50 seniors, and now we're up to 225. And so I just love to see that it grows and that we keep in contact with our seniors too throughout the year. Mm-hmm. But they aren't asking for it. We're the ones that are asking that if we can do anything to help them. So that it's so rewarding.
I would echo the rewarding part. Mm-hmm. I think I said this earlier. You get to see that what you're doing makes a difference. And knowing that, people know that the Real Life Center is there, that we care, in the relationship part, when you get to hear the stories of someone that their life was impacted. Speaking of the holidays, last year, we actually had a family, the week after Thanksgiving, they sent us a picture of their holiday meal, and they said, everything on this table we got from you guys last week. Wow. And then there was, probably 15 people around the table and a full spread. And so that meant a lot, to see, hey, that really had a big impact on that family.
In talking to you guys, you can just tell how passionate you are about it, and it's truly amazing. What would you say to the volunteers that help out? How do they impact your organizations in ways they might not even recognize?
I definitely notice, and this I wasn't expecting, that I get probably 8 out of 10 volunteers thank me for allowing them to come volunteer. And that is so special that they, took their time and, brought their family out to help. But they're actually feeling the spirit. And even if they didn't necessarily sponsor the senior, they're just so rewarded by the opportunity to help wrap the gifts, help deliver the gifts. It's meaningful for them.
Mm-hmm.
For a few different ways. So one, some of our volunteers feel like they're very behind the scenes, so we kind of have regular serving volunteers that serve, on a weekly basis, and then groups that come in. And some of our regular serving volunteers, they're like, well, I just stock shelves, or I just, do this or that. And so we try to share with them hey, this is important, we remind them, hey, last week, 225 families came through and there was food on the shelf for them when they came in. And then we'll tell a story about it fed a family at Thanksgiving, and they're like, okay, that had an impact. When a group comes in, we usually show them the full shelves and say, hey, the food that you're sorting today in about a month is going to feed 200 families.
Yeah.
And so, it may seem like a small job, but it really has a big impact.
Right. And for people listening who are feeling inspired and they're thinking, okay, I want to help, but I don't know where to start, what would you tell them?
Well, first go to our website, silverbellscoweta.com. We do have a link up there for volunteer opportunities. They started today, December 8th, and they go all the way till the 13th. That's our delivery day, and that is just a fun day for all to come out and go visit the seniors. And then we have opportunity if you're wanting to donate. We do try to provide household items for all of our seniors that live independently. So we do get them toilet paper, paper towels, laundry detergent, and we go shopping for those on Wednesday before the event. But we're always taking donations to help support if we do get calls throughout the year for seniors that are in need.
Yeah, so there's several different ways. So we also have a website, reallifecenter.org, and on there is always our most needed items. And so usually it's listed food and non-food. So you can always look at that list, and then it tells you when you can donate those items. And then another great way is a lot of times people don't realize how many groups you're involved with. And so we always say we love groups to host drives for us, So, hey, you're in a pickleball group, you're in a Bible study group, you're in a book club, your son's in Boy Scouts, your daughter's in Girl Scouts. My son's cross-country team does a food drive every year. A lot of communities do food drives. And so we'll help you do the food drive. We'll give you the list of items. So that's a big one. A lot of times people don't even think, oh yeah, my book club could do that. Or your group could come and serve as well, similar to the group that came from Coweta-Fayette MC to help us sort food. We need groups to do that. Or if you're looking to serve on a regular basis, we do have opportunities during the work week, but we're also open Thursday evenings. Have a lot of people that work 9 to 5 that come after work and volunteer with us, once or twice a month as well. So those are kind of some easy ways to jump in and help.
Cool. And before we wrap up, let's look ahead a little. What are your hopes and goals for your volunteer programs in the new year? If your nonprofit could receive one Christmas wish, big or small, what would you ask for?
I would ask for to find a counterpart in another county that could take on this program, and I would be happy to be alongside them and help them. But I just need to find that person that's willing to go into Fayette County or in any of our surrounding counties and do the same program, because it's just not out there enough.
So as far as, looking forward to volunteers, we kind of have a couple of things next year that we're hoping to get off the ground. And one of them is similar to what you said earlier, but that's going deeper with clients. Many of our clients, about a third of our clients are 65 or above, and they get lost in the paperwork. We know that they could, sometimes they're not even receiving their pension because it's online. You have to have a password. It's complicated. You can't call and get a hold of somebody. So having probably a staff person and some volunteers that can just help people navigate those things is a big one. And then another area where we would love to invest more is, and I don't know the exact percentage, but is a large percentage of the families we serve are single mothers. So what can we do to help single moms? And so that's kind of open-ended right now, but that's an area that we're looking at. And then as far as big wishes, that's a great question. Lots of them out there. One for us is we are growing and we're getting close to actually filling up the space that we're currently in, which we didn't think, 2019 when we built it, it seemed bigger than ever. So we're actually looking at like storage options, like refrigerated storage units, things like that. That's a big wish. That's kind of on our list of what that might look like to have that. And then we also have an orchard, which I didn't mention that, but that's another area you could volunteer. We do have an orchard, but unfortunately, deer eat crops and people sneak into the orchard and take things. So just trying to find ways to keep the crop secure is another need too.
And you already mentioned both you guys have websites, but is there another way listeners can stay connected with you and support Real Life Center in Silver Bells, Coweta?
We do have a Facebook page that I try to update with any news and opportunities. So Facebook.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have Facebook as well. And then we do have a newsletter, which you can subscribe to on the website as well. We send out once a month that just has mainly stories, so you kind of hear the personal side of what's taking place.
Yeah.
So.
Well, awesome. And this has been such an uplifting conversation. Thank you, Matt from Real Life Center and Marissa from Silver Bells, Coweta, for all that you do, not only during Christmas or the season of giving, but throughout the entire year. And to everyone listening, I hope this inspired you today to get involved, give back, and be a part of the good happening right here in our community. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you for tuning in to In the Loop, and we'll see you next time.